What is up, A team? Welcome back. AuzSOME here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day or night, depending on what, but I hope it is awesome. And yes, we're back at it today to talk more about some crypto, to talk more about the markets. And I will admit, things are actually looking pretty decent right now. Overall, the weekend went really, really well. We saw a lot of upturn in the markets. I mean, Bitcoin has now reclaimed 85,000 again, which is fantastic for anything in crypto. I mean, when you have Bitcoin starting to rally, obviously it's not back to the prices of where we're at, but I mean, it did tap into 85. It's now fallen down to about 84,000. But overall, the cryptocurrency market is in the green. At least last over 24 hours, it's in the green for most cryptos. Over the last 7 days, it's definitely in the green for most cryptos. And like I said, even the stock market has turned around and things are looking pretty damn good. So with all that, I just want to come back and say what is up to everyone here on the A team. Thank you guys so much for being here. We got Seiko Hunt in the house. We got Ian. What's up here? What's up? What's up? What's up? We got Nightmare, Sean, Tony Punch. What's up, bud? Auto Pops, Family Man. What's up, dude? Good to see you guys. Deb, we got Deb in the house here. What's up, Deb? Family Man. What's up? Cool Ranch. Moist Mike. What's up, bud? Tim Shea. We got the Mayor Crypto in the house here. We got Seiko Hunt. My boy Seiko Hunt. What's up, buddy? Good to see you guys. J89 Money. What's up, William? It's good to see everyone in here. I'm scrolling fast. So if I miss you guys, I'm sorry, dude. Watchman, you don't say. Alexi, good to see everyone in here. Appreciate you guys being here today. Yeah, it's nice to sort of see the cryptocurrency markets come back around. You can see right now that we have gone up just slightly to 0.06% up over. It's not that much. Let's just be honest. It's not that much, but we're still in the green. We're at 2.67 trillion on the week, starting the week off. Stock market's actually looking pretty dang good right now. You can see the Dow's up about almost 100 points here. Went up a little bit earlier, but it's come down slightly. S&P 500 sitting around 17 points up, and the NASDAQ just slightly about 16 points up on the day. The great thing is, one of the best things is this news came out this morning talking about Nvidia coming out here investing $500 billion into supercomputers here in America. This is huge. This is actually ginormous for, I think, pretty much anything tech related. Is now that you have basically one of the largest companies I heard to produce semiconductors is going to be working production, here in the United States. So not only are you going to have the Taiwan semiconductors that are working in Phoenix, you're going to also have them come in here. So I mean, that's really, really good news. Regardless of what you want to say from an AI standpoint, from a crypto standpoint, from any of that kind of standpoint, this is actually really good for just the NASDAQ, for crypto, for basically anything tech related. This is really good news. So I was excited to see this. I mean, there's a whole article written on it here talking about how this whole thing developed here, but it is going to be nice to see them come out here. It says the step back right here. It says, although things took a notable step back in 2025, it is mainly due to the macroeconomic pressure, not because of the company. And for some reason, my thing is lagging. That's probably because of these MicroStrategy or these things that are open here. But it's because of the production of it, not necessarily. It's because of the economy, not necessarily because of the direction of the company. And so that's actually really good to hear. And it said, adding American manufacturing helps us better meet the incredible and growing demands of AI chips. This is probably be huge for just crypto in general. I think I do feel that a lot of these tech companies follow that with crypto. That's very easy for us to know that. Like, that's not like some crazy news that crypto and Bitcoin follows that of tech companies. So if you want the markets to go up on the tech side, on the NASDAQ side, that's usually when the crypto side goes up too. So very, very good news there. That is exciting to see. MicroStrategy comes out here and buys up more Bitcoin. $285 million in Bitcoin was purchased. And this is actually pretty incredible. This was earlier this morning that this came out. I mean, Michael Saylor just keeps buying up Bitcoin. It's insane on how much money he's putting into Bitcoin to acquire as much as possible. So the company has bought roughly 3,459 Bitcoin, worth $285 million, bringing Michael Saylor's total holdings to 531,644 Bitcoin. Gosh, dude, this guy is just raking in the Bitcoin, dude. I mean, I guess if you truly believe that it's going to do what they say it's going to do, I mean, everyone's going to look at him like he's an idiot, but in all reality, he's the only one that's probably one of the biggest geniuses in the. Again, Bitcoin has to perform. Bitcoin has to do what we all want it to do. But I mean, if Bitcoin hits $1 million per Bitcoin, Michael Saylor is sitting there with a big grin on his face, saying "Told you so," right? And he's been right every time he's talked about it. He's been right. The question is, do you think that Bitcoin is actually going to continue to grow? Are we going to reach 250,000 per Bitcoin, 300,000 per Bitcoin? Are we going to reach that $1 million per Bitcoin? And if the answer to that question is yes, then I ask you, why the hell are you not buying Bitcoin? why are you not buying Bitcoin? Is it because it's too, like, why are you not allocating money to buy Bitcoin? If you think that Bitcoin is going to hit $1 million, why haven't you allocated money to Bitcoin? And I guess you got to ask yourself that, right? If you believe it's going to, then why aren't you doing it? Well, not many common folks with colors in their name like me are in here. What's up, Colonel? Good to see you, dude. Lord, what's up, man? Like the stream. Octagon, what's up, man? Howdy, Austin. Good to see you, man. Good to see everyone in here. We got Chameleon in the house here. What's up, Chameleon? Yeah, it's good to see you guys. Another thing coming through here. This is actually a kind of a drag for Ethereum here. SEC delays staking for the Grayscale spot ETF. Unfortunately for Ethereum's, it's just been hit. Like, Ethereum's just not what it was. It's just not what it was back in early, the earlier stages of crypto. It's kind of just been lagging. I mean, sitting around 1,600, which isn't bad. I mean, it's working its way up 5% over the last 7 days, but it's just kind of been lagging. It's just not performing like we all thought it would. I mean, even when it got the ETF approved with the SEC for the ETF, it still lagged behind. It didn't do what we all thought it was going to do. And now with the news that coming out here that the SEC delays the staking for Grayscale spot ETF, this is just kind of another, another drag for that of Ethereum. I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest with you. I was hoping there was going to be better news in regards to this, but it's just a delay. It doesn't say they're not going to be able to do it. It's just a massive delay. So hopefully we see a nice little Ethereum bounce back, which would be really, really nice to see. So I don't have 80,000 to buy Bitcoin, but you can, but you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. I mean, you could buy, $5,000 worth of Bitcoin. I mean, because you got to think about it. If let's just say, I mean, I don't know the math. Like, what is the math right now? If it goes to $1 million, let's just say $1 million. I mean, that's a 12x, dude. That's a 12x on your investment right now, dude. It's literally a 12x on your investment if you were to buy, if it went to $1 million. So if you put a $10,000 in at 12x, I mean, you're at $100,000. But that's what I'm saying. If you believe that Bitcoin can do that, why aren't people putting money in Bitcoin? Like I said, Bitcoin's my largest holding. I mean, it's where I have most of my money allocated to Bitcoin, because I do believe that it's going to steadily increase. It's going to steadily rise. I mean, you got a lot of people out here talking about Bitcoin being the digital gold. It is the digital gold, and you have people competing over it. And there's only a limited supply of Bitcoin. And eventually, this will be the fight of the digital age, dude. And the people that aren't buying Bitcoin, like I said, the people that I feel bad for are actually my kids, like or kids of parents who aren't in crypto. They're gonna look back and they're gonna go, "Hey, mom, dad, how come you didn't buy Bitcoin?" And they're gonna say, "Well, I didn't really believe in it. And now, it's worth $5 million, and I'm definitely not gonna buy it now." And it's everything that we look back on. Like, I wish I was old enough to buy Apple when it first launched. I wish I was old enough to buy Google and all that kind of stuff. I was like freaking 8 years old. I was like, so I mean, 8-10 years old. I don't even know how old I was when it came out. What was it, 90 in the 90s, right? So I was like, I was in elementary school. But I look back and I wish my parents did. And they didn't, So MicroStrategy was my Bitcoin play before I purchased any crypto. Now that I'm in the space, I see an enormous opportunity with XRP, Ondo, and Hbar. Yeah, dude, Hbar, look at this. This right here, this Nvidia production right here is huge for Hbar, right? As you guys know, Hbar is partnered with Nvidia and Intel, which are some of the largest chip manufacturing, semiconductor, and large computer companies in the world, here in the United States as well. And you got to see right here that they are working with Hbar is working with them. There's a partnership, or they come out and said it. They've come out and said it. So the people that person that benefits the most from this are people who are invested in Hbar. Hbar is up there as probably, I think it's my fourth highest bag right now. It goes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Hbar. And I'll continue to add Hbar because of things like this. And so if Hbar is in some way working with Nvidia, like they say they are, and like Nvidia has actually announced, and in some way these chips are using Hbar to some capacity to use the hash graph, that would be insane. It would be insane to see what Nvidia would do. It might not hit 1 million, but it still has he still has nothing. If he sells, then people are going to be screaming when he sells. He said he's not going to sell, so it'll be interesting to see if he does, right? I wonder when Texas Nvidia is going to build their plant. It's a good question. Yeah, I'm selling a kidney to buy the Bitcoin dip. All right, Kyle. It's because I might dive into BTC, just worried about the exit liquidity. Yeah, I think I'm not really sweating the exit liquidity. Yeah, again, it's easy for me to say I accumulate my Bitcoin at 20,000. I haven't actually added any Bitcoin in quite some time. You know, I'm sitting there at the 21 to 25,000 mark in terms of my average for Bitcoin. So yeah, it's easy for me to sit here on this pedestal and say Bitcoin's great because you know, I'm already what 246. I'm already like almost a 5x up on my Bitcoin. So I get it. It's a lot easier for me to say that, and it's easier for Michael Saylor to say that because you know he's obviously up significantly on his bag too. So it is easier to sit on in front of a screen here, in front of a camera, on a stage, and talk about Bitcoin and how happy you are about Bitcoin because you're up significantly on your investment. But I can understand the people that are coming in that are like, yeah, well, I haven't bought it yet, and I'm still a little bit nervous about that. I totally get it, but you got to ask yourself, if you do think it's digital gold, if you do think that in the next 10 years it's going to hit these numbers, like what is deterring you? And if it's deterring you because you're like, well, I don't want to buy the top, or I don't want to buy this, you know, sometimes you know, people think the top's in and it's not. Nvidia building the planet. Is it in Houston? Is that where it's coming out of? Okay, over 6% dominance in Bitcoin is why it's my biggest bag. Hell yeah, dude. So what's up, Swan Donkey? Yeah, so we can actually take a look at this. So I haven't actually pulled up. We can talk about the Bitcoin. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's go to where is my let's go here. Where's my dominance? There it is. There is my dominance. Boom. You can see Bitcoin's dominance is going up significantly. And I was going to point this out to you. I'm glad that you brought this up. So I'm talking about the dominance side of it. Is that although we're seeing some really big highs from Bitcoin. I mean, we haven't seen these highs in terms of like where Bitcoin dominance is. It hasn't been this high since well over into, what is that, 2021, dude. Last time Bitcoin dominance was sitting here around 63% was back in 2021, dude. So you got to think that's actually pretty extreme when you think about the highs of where this at. We haven't seen Bitcoin this high since 2021, guys, which again goes back to this right here. After tariff right here, unemployment fears hit worst levels since COVID as tariff fuels inflation outlook. So last time we had unemployment fears and all this kind of stuff was back in 2020, 2021. So it's kind of like some weird correlation here between all that. But you can see right here that last time we were here, we just like I said last time, if you guys watched my stream on Friday, I said the exact same thing on Friday that I'm going to say today. And that is, let me zoom in on this. Let me get those swamp donkeys out of here, comment out of here. But what did I say? We are in this stage right here. Look at that. Almost to a T, dude. This is the stage that we're in right here, we're in right here. You can see this nice little rally that we had here. We had this massive fall coming into May and June. We're already experiencing this fall right here. We're looking for this next rally, which is right here. Okay. And I can zoom in. Let me zoom in a little bit more here for you guys. Make the screen a little bit bigger. And again, I'm on the day chart right here, so a little bit different. But last time we're at these levels was right around here. Okay. And this was actually at the peak. This is what's crazy. This was actually at the peak of Bitcoin, right? And then what happens is Bitcoin dominance starts to fall, altcoin rallies start to come. But this is XRP. So Bitcoin did the same thing, right? So, or that was Bitcoin. Now you look at XRP. XRP, last time we were this high, we came back down really, really hard. And then we bounced back up again, right? So what I'm saying is that this right here is where we're at right here. Bitcoin dominance is high. But eventually this Bitcoin dominance is going to come down, which is going to cause this to go even higher. Because look at it, we're actually sustaining at these levels with Bitcoin dominance already at 65%, 63%. So if we sustain the 63%, when Bitcoin dominance drops back down to 50, 40, somewhere in that ballpark, which it will, we're going to see a massive rally from altcoins, which is how we're going to get to these levels that we've talked about for so long, which is $7. 701 is my main number here. So yeah, that's a great thing that you brought up that Bitcoin dominance, because I don't think we actually talk about that enough. But when we look at it, it's crazy how we're seeing these levels go up. And when this thing comes down, this thing is only going to rise up further than where it's at. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see when this comes all the way down where these levels will be at down the road. You know what I mean? You come back over here to the last bull run, last all-time high for XRP, and you can see right here that when Bitcoin dominance dropped down to roughly 36%, that's when we hit all-time highs here, and we hit about roughly $3.28, $3.34 when it dropped down. So yeah, interesting take for sure. So ready for what? I'm so ready for this market to continue to rally. We're gonna rally, dude. I'm so ready for the tax cuts. I'm so ready for The ending of this tariff discussion. I'm so ready for everyone striking fears into recession. As you guys can see, Polymarket actually came out today and said that Trump came out and said that we're 100% not going to go into a recession. And again, whether Trump's right or wrong, I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just ready for all that talk to be over and actually start to perform and the market start to do well. I'm so ready for it. And I do think it's coming. I think it's coming here, sooner than you guys think. Like I told you guys before, when the talks of recession are in, that's typically when the bottom's here. They're not going to be talking about a recession and then the market keeps falling out. Usually when the talks of recessions are happening, we've already hit the bottom of the market. We could actually hit the bottom of the market, bounce up and trade sideways for a couple months, which most likely could happen here. But hopefully the bottom of the market's in. That's the whole goal here, is that the bottom of the market's in. Maybe the bottom of Bitcoin on this cycle at 160 is in, and now we're off to the races. And that's kind of where my hopes are at this moment. So that's what I'm ready for. I'm so ready for all this talk to be over and actually for us to start performing and to get to new levels. I've seen alts with as many as long are usually worthless tribe. But the crazy thing was, Kev, is that it wasn't that Hbar came out and announced that. It was that the one of the people from Nvidia came out and actually made that announcement. So it wasn't. I get what you're saying. I get like all these projects come out. And, I'm working with this company, or I'm working with that. But it's one thing when the company they're working with, the big company they're working with, comes out and says it too. So that's where I think it's a little bit better. At least I feel a little bit more confident when it comes to Hbar working with Nvidia here, is that they basically are coming out and saying, both of them have said we're working together. So that's kind of the part that I like. Just move money from high yield savings to BTC today. All right, damn, get it. If you solo mine the blocks, you get 3.125 Bitcoin. The odds are, but it's like a lottery every 10 minutes. That's true. Yeah, if you're doing Bitcoin yourself, it's going to be a struggle. You usually got to get into a mining party is kind of what it is. Look, I bought in 2015. People told me I was stupid. To be honest, I wouldn't buy it at this price. I got lucky. You think so? You wouldn't buy it at this price? Yeah. I mean, but you don't got to buy a whole Bitcoin. That's the thing. You don't got to buy a whole Bitcoin to do it. CNBC spreading FUD about jobs. Did you guys see that Trump is suing CBS for billions of dollars? That was pretty wild to come out and see yesterday. Is he's suing CBS for billions of dollars for basically being fake news. And conspiring against him, which is kind of crazy, and putting out all the fake reporting and everything. It'll be interesting to see how that falls out. I don't know what's going to happen there. So it doesn't. And once the Feds start printing money, the Feds are going to start printing money again. Crazy how many people don't understand. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. I hear it all the time. Yeah, I definitely don't need to. You need to compare the Fed's balance sheet. It's probably true. I probably do need to do that. We'll all have regs before the 4th of July. You think so, Chameleon? We're gonna have regulations before the 4th of July? That'll be right. What that'll be right in Q. Let's see, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, that'll be growing into Q3. Q3 is kind of like where we're at, dude. Yeah, I think Q3, dude. We're gonna see. This summer's gonna be good for us. I want to say this summer's. I'm gonna stay positive and say this summer. Tax cuts coming. Yeah, we got so many positive things coming. I'm going to say probably Q3, Q4. It could actually go into 2026. But that was the thing, is that when Trump did it last time, it went into 2018 when the tax cuts hit. But you got to think, he didn't actually own the House. Like the Republican Party owns the House and the Senate. He didn't have both the House and the Senate when he first ran. So now that he has both of them, this actually might pass faster than we anticipated. So there's that. I think it could come sooner than we think. That's why I'm pointing at Q3, Q4. We could start to see a lot more. Yeah, I'm with you, RS Miller. Yeah, just ignore the news. I don't really try to pay attention. I mean, obviously, I think it's a trigger word for anytime you hear the word tariff, right? It stokes fears into the markets. Anytime you hear rates and things like that, it stokes fear. But we're going to probably have a rate cut coming up here in May. I see us having a rate cut. I've been saying that for 6 months now, is that we're going to have rate cuts in May. That's kind of where we're at. They changed the definition of recession. Remember, it's not characterized as 2 quarters of negative GDP anymore. That is such bullshit. I get you. That's so funny, dude. That's so funny how they changed that. Hopefully, August, September will be nice. Yeah. Bro, I went to Dick's Drive-In Burgers, ordered a deluxe and a special, ate them, then ordered 2 more deluxe. Thanks for the recommend. Did you really, Jake? That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I just like the regular cheeseburgers. I think it's because the deluxe has like a relish in there, and I'm not a big relish fan. So like, but the dude, that's awesome, bro. I'm so happy you got your dick burger, dude. Austin, what's up with April 16th and the SEC verse? I don't know what's up with it, but they were saying a couple had to have been roughly. I gotta find there was an article out here a couple weeks ago talking about how it's probably going to be in May. I think they said May 25th or something like that was going to be kind of the decision and deciding factor for the SEC and XRP. There's so many different dates being thrown around out there. It's so hard to say. Isn't it for 60 minutes? Come on. I think that's part of it. Yeah, BSMB. But I think there were some other things they threw in there as well. The news needs to chill. That's why I like X, dude. I go to X for basically anything. I don't think I've watched Fox News, CNN. I don't watch any of that stuff. I don't even watch television all that much. Most of the information I get is from X, is from the different sources that are out there, and I like that they get fact checked. I like that. I do like that both sides of the aisle can fact check the other person, and then it can come up and say, "Hey, this person got community noted." I like that. I mean, that's the way it should be. You should get fact checked if you're saying things wrong. I'm optimistic, but it can be very, very well go into next year. I'm going with the executive order that gave them the 108 days. Yeah, it could go into. Like I said, I mean, with Trump's previous administration, it took him a whole year. So it took him the whole year to get the tax cut, and then in 2018, so he obviously got elected in 2016. Then his first year was through 2017, and then January 2018 is when the tax cuts came. So that it could follow a very similar path for sure. But the good thing is, if you want to go back and look at the history of that, we had the nice little rally before the tax cuts this year. So if you go back to 2016 and 17, you can see right here, 2017, we hit the all-time highs. This is actually January when we had the tax cut is when we actually started to fall out of the bull market. so you could see the tax cuts actually came down off of that, and then we rallied back, and it wasn't until the pandemic when things started to come crazy again. So crazy story, but I mean, really, I think this right here is where we're at right here. If I had to put it in there, but I mean, the charts are a lot different. Can you fake your way into a good economy? Yeah, probably could. You could probably fake anything that you wanted to. Your haircut and beard game is on point. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you, man. I've been, yeah, keeping it trim, looking good. Appreciate you. Line up everything on the calendar that is going to happen, and you can almost trade on that alone. That's probably true, RS Miller. That's probably not a bad idea. Then line up the moons. I like that. I didn't even notice till you said. What are you talking about, RPM? Bob Fox, member for 4 months, dude. Appreciate you being a member for 4 months, Bob. Thank you so much for being here, as always. You guys are awesome. Austin, you look hella tan. Where'd you go? I'm soccer, dude. I've been soccer all weekend, man. Do I look tan? I gotta look. Do I look really tan right now? Yeah. I guess I did get a little burn. You can see that. Look at that. That's burn, dude. That's my burn. So that's funny. But yeah, it's from soccer. I had soccer all weekend, and it was actually really nice here in the Northwest, and it's really nice here all week. So I'll probably get even worse. I appreciate that. Don't let this distract you from the fact that Hector is gonna run 3 Honda Civics with his DP. Oh gosh, you guys are funny. You look more red, yeah, dude. I got burned, bro. My tan is red. I tan red. That is kind of how I look at it. I don't tan. I tan red. My white ass tans red, dude. That's how when I get tan, I'm red. Appreciate you keeping us entertained. I try to. That's too funny. So that's some good stuff there. Staking there. Obviously, right here, President Trump's economic advisor, Hasek, says there is no insider trading. As you guys know, there was, what was it, Janet Yellen? You had Elizabeth Warren. All of them came out and said that they were going to look into insider trading after all this tariff talk and the dips and everything like that. You had basically people come out and say that wasn't, what are they going to come out and say? Yeah, there was insider trading. Let's investigate ourselves. That'd be kind of dumb. So yeah, obviously I expected that statement right there. But this is kind of where I was reading this article today. I think this is actually really good. Bitcoin eyes a 92K with 200-day EMA breakout at 85. So what they were saying here is that you can go back, and we talked about this last time on stream here, is that the 200, we're actually trading below the 200-day EMA right now. And as you can see here, this is on the day chart too. So I like to look on the day chart. You can see that our 50-day is actually coming really close to our 200-day EMA. The one thing that we do not want to see on this day chart, though, is the 50-day EMA crossing over the 200-day EMA, because that would actually be super bearish. And last time that we actually had that happen, we can actually go over here and look. We went into a bear market last time that actually crossed over, which you could see was back over here in January of 2022. We had the 50-day EMA cross over the 200-day EMA, and then we were basically in this market. So this is something to actually watch and consider here, is that when this 50-day and 100-day start to cross over, we're in bear territory. You can see right here, the last time we actually got really close to each other on the day chart right here was back over here in September of 2024, which we actually started to build out of here. So we do want these things to get closer. What we don't want is these things to cross over. Once they cross over, those are actually kind of some bearish signs. So I'm hoping that we actually, they could come sideways trading here. This 200 or this 100-day EMA could come down closer, and then we could actually see a nice little reversal here. So I'm expecting there to actually be a reversal here. That's what this article is basically saying here, is that on the daily chart, Bitcoin shows a strong rebound from the 50% Fibonacci retracement near the 75,500. It says after surpassing the 618, which is the Fibonacci level around 82,000, Bitcoin is now testing a 200-day EMA, which is exactly where it's at. And it's basically saying that with it testing that, we have a better opportunity of us going back up to into the 95s. I didn't pull a fib. We could actually probably pull a fib on this. Oh, maybe I did pull a fib, but it's way back over here. I got to adjust my fibs out. Let me get that out of here. Let's actually adjust this fib out. I wonder where they're pulling it from. I wonder where he's pulling his fib from. We'll probably have to pull it from. It's going to have to go back the other way. We're in a downtrend. Let's do a retracement. Fib extend retracement. Let's go. Yeah, 618 right there. So it's testing the 618. So yeah, that's kind of where they're at. But like I said, it's already testing this right here at this 85. I mean, we're right at 85,000 for the 200. So we'll probably stay right around this area. I'm hoping we don't go below that. That's kind of where I'm at. 607 watching, 93 likes. I've got to go 3 months for a checkup. I have to go every 3 months for a checkup. Damn, Pinocchio. I cut out today. I built pools for 24 years. What are you talking about, dude? Are you talking about you're talking about like mole or skin cancer. Yeah, real protect your skin. I don't wear any that's kind of I take that back. I do wear sunblock, but it's just not as much. Can you sum up the last 23 minutes? Please go over OM's rug pull this weekend, dude. That's crazy. That is. I always say this, man. When it comes to these projects, I don't own OM or Mantra or any of that kind of stuff, which is crazy. I mean, this is a top crypto. As you guys know, Mantra's been around for a while. I mean, this thing went up to $8 back literally like not even two months ago. You can see right here. This thing was Mantra was up there, dude. This was on Binance. This is Ethereum based trading on Ethereum. And that's what happens when you have these liquidity pools. When you have liquidity that's unlocked and you have devs that are willing to risk everything to pull the liquidity out on it. And that's kind of what happened here, dude. There's no way around it. I could hear anything from these developers coming out and saying, "Oh, we didn't do this. We didn't plan to do." Like, you straight rug pulled. I mean, 90% in the last 24 hours. And this is a top 100. This was roughly, I think at one point, this market cap was just sitting at almost a $7.8 billion market cap. This thing was in the top 20 cryptos, dude. This thing was in the top 20 cryptos right here. It was like right in this area, dude. and it pulled the rug, dude. I mean, that's kind of what it is, and that's super unfortunate for anyone holding that, dude. And unfortunately, Binance is going to take the biggest hit for it. So, yeah, super crazy to even think that that happened. To be quite honest with you guys, yeah, mantra. That's what's scary about crypto. You know, you think you're into a good project, and this liquidity gets pulled, and next thing you know, they're jumping on you. Hey, family, still holding Austin. I DM'd you on Discord when you get a moment. Okay, Ian, I'll take a look at that. I thought it would hurt the markets a lot more. Yeah, it seems like it didn't hurt the markets that much. Nothing like a Terra Luna. Sunscreens give you cancer, not the sun. Is that what it is? Yeah. Yes, they ran off with 450 billion minus slippage. See, that's crazy. So those are the people you need to go after, dude. What's the point? What's the point? I need lotion all over my body. It's important. I actually hate lotion. I hate the feeling of lotion on my on my skin. I'm so ready. I'm so ready to dual citizen. XRP is going to be the best gainer. Yeah, it already is, dude. It already is killing it right now. I mean, I said before, it's probably one of the stronger charts that are out there. And when we actually rip back, it's going to continue to rock and roll, dude. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that mantra just or OM just completely rugged everyone like that. That's so it makes me sick to my stomach, dude. It put the lotion on the skin. 450 billion is a nice amount. They need to find a way to stop that from actually happening. Hating lotions, crazy brother. I just hate the way it makes your feel. If I think that there is one sunscreen that fan got. I don't know where it is. She'll have to probably give it to me at some point. But it's actually one of the better It's actually one of the better lotions out there. We use it on the kids for soccer, and it leaves no like greasy feeling. Sun fights cancer. Sunscreen causes skin cancer. Is that what it is? Is that okay? Well, then we'll just not use skin. We'll just not use lotions, dude. I'm kind of with you guys. I try not to use medication. I try not to take any. I try not to do any. Flu shots or anything like that. I don't take. I don't do any vaccines. I don't put any. I try to really avoid all that stuff, dude. Even if someone gives me I'll take a medicate, I'll take an antibiotic if I have to. Very rare, but I mean, I don't try to use anything. The only thing that I use, like if I have to, for the most part, is like a Tylenol. If I have like a headache or things like that, I'll use a Tylenol. But that's really it, dude. Is this crypto chat or a lotion stream today? This is the A team, dude. The A team gets crazy. We get on these crazy rants, dude. We go from dick burgers to freaking sunscreen to whatever. We talk about whatever here. It's not just crypto. This is like daily life. You come to Awesome Austin's channel for daily life and discussions. That's what it comes down to. We talk about crypto, and then it goes into where the chat just goes wild, and we start talking about sunscreen. Oh, I love it, dude. Obviously, don't look directly at the sun, but sunglasses prevent vitamin D going to your eyes. Interesting. I wear sunglasses. I usually wear sunglasses pretty often. That's probably yeah. Just live life. Nobody makes it out alive. That's true. Born and raised in Vegas, we don't use sunscreen. Only non-natives. Really, that's interesting. Austin Dick. We got Jaco. What's up, Jaco? I haven't seen Jaco in a minute. Jaco, thanks so much for gifting 50 memberships to the A team. If Jaco gifted you a membership, please say thank you to Jaco. Always coming in here hot with the 50 gifted members. And those 50 new members, welcome to the A team or welcome back to the A team. Appreciate you all being here. And thanks again, Jaco, for always coming in hot with the 50 gifted memberships. You're awesome. And we got the Granny Love in here. Love my Austin. Vaccines we get as kids make us customers for life. Probably true, dude. That's probably true. And I'm not against vaccines. I'm not against, like, you can do whatever you want to do. Like, do you boo boo? I don't care. I think that they're good for some people that need them, but for most, it's not, probably not. Welcome to what you find here. Yeah. Welcome to the real world. That's what you find here. True. That is true. I never put sunscreen on. Once you burn first, time later. Dude, I had one of the worst sunburns of my life. Like, when I was like 15 years old, we went to a place here called Wild Waves, and I remember I went down this. I went down the it was like the rapid river, so you like sit on a tube, and so like my stomach got so burned, it was the worst. I blistered, it was like I was in pain. It was horrible, dude. So like that's where, you know, it's kind of like, oh crap, Austin, do I have time to buy XRP back? Yeah, I think this is, I said anywhere from $2 to $2.25 is a really good purchase area. We love Dick's Sporting Goods. Sunglasses cause cancer. Everything causes cancer. After starting crypto, it's almost become life. Yeah, crypto really, you know, what's one thing about crypto is that it becomes a lifestyle, dude. You're either in crypto or you're not. And if you're half in crypto and half not, you're going to miss a lot. You're either fully in on crypto or you're not. You got to make that decision. And sometimes it's hard because people, you know, it consumes them, and it does. It consumes me sometimes. I'll admit, crypto consumes the hell out of me. Fans always like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Looking at crypto." She's like, what are you looking at? News? What? You know, I'm always constantly doing something, and she's like, you know, she'll just roll her eyes or, you know, whatever. But I mean, that just kind of like, I love crypto. Like, I honestly, truly love crypto. I wake up in the middle of the night and look at my crypto. I go to bed, I look at my crypto. I'm always looking at news. I'm always reading about something. And I think a lot of people, either if you become new to crypto, you probably found your own little passion in crypto. And so kudos to you for, you know, being able to do that. Not a lot of people can do that. A lot of people get in, they get wrecked, and they leave, and they never come back. Austin, yeah. So sunscreen blocks your ability to produce vitamin D. I did not know that. That is true, actually, if you think about that. I've been going around with a Lambo, now Mo, stuck in my head. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, congrats, new AT members. Join the Discord. Orange juice is good for vitamin C, but it has too much sugar. I bought a Disney Vacation Club. I got to listen to pretty much all my other investments are Shannon. Maybe occasionally when the GF wants me to, it's vitamin D. All right. Just to be alive. Yeah, I'm grateful to be alive too, man. I love all this discussion about sunscreen, dude. You guys are crazy. Also, sunglasses prevent your body from creating the mechanism to protect from the screen. Oh, yeah, that's probably a good way to look at it. You guys' comments are killing me, dude. Oh my gosh. Did I miss the lotion talk? Double bottom, yeah, she did. The reason people burn is because they're not hydrated enough. Oh, I did not know that, green eggs. Is that really what it is? Because you're not hydrated enough? Well, shit, I'm screwed then, dude. I should probably stop drinking coffee. That's what I'm talking about, K Bowers. Well, guess don't need sunscreen in the Seattle anyway. It's actually really nice today, dude. You know when like when it's like it's 55 degrees out and we burn, that's when you know we're from Seattle. Wearing sunglasses will get you burned sometimes to do tricking the brain and oh really? It's funny how we've done all this. So they make sunscreen for crypto. Shit, we might as well just make a crypto sunscreen at this point. The toilet at Huawei's is lit. Dude. How do y'all feel losing 1,300 in one day? That's tough, dude. I was sick. Yeah, I mean, dude, I lost when Trump. I don't even want to say how much was leaving my. I'm not even going to tell you guys how much left my portfolio. Right? I mean, obviously, I'm in the positive, but like when you see that money leaving your portfolio, like you get sick a little bit. Yeah, too bad. Yeah, fans give me Chuck Norris jokes over here. Your eyes react to sun, which tells your brain to protect your skin, which is why you must stay hydrated. Vodka keeps you from getting burned. At least you won't feel it. You guys are. You know, I think it could probably hover around there. I think the $2 mark is still like a very, very consistent. It could very well go back down to $2. I'm not going to say it can't. We'll probably trade. We could trade sideways for a few months, guys. We could be like up to 225 down to $2, up to 235 down to $2. We could be trading sideways for quite some time. I mean, we trade sideways for almost a whole year. And at this time, like this is kind of sideways trading right here. I mean, you know, as much as we hit highs and lows, as long as we stay in this area, and like I said, the goal is because unfortunately right here, we did see the 50-day finally cross over the 100-day EMA. So we're actually starting to see these come closer together. So XRP could trade a little bit more sideways, almost like how Bitcoin has started to, like, you could see the moving averages getting closer. XRP is still pretty far apart. And I've always told you, when these things get further apart, the magnetic field of the market are going to pull these things back together. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And so how long this takes, I don't know. This could take a couple months. We could be trading sideways, up and down, no real action until these things get close together. And then we start to see a breakout like we saw right here, right? I mean, this right here was basically, we traded sideways to let these averages move out. You see how far away these averages were? 50-day, 100-day, 200-day, super far apart. What happens? They get pulled back together. Well, how long was that? This started on March 4th of 2024. Well, actually, let's go to the peak right here. So we started to have a downtrend from April 8th of 2024, and we didn't see an actual turn until September of 2024. We're in the same exact boat right now. This is exactly the same boat that we are in over here. We're in that same boat, right? So if we say April, May, June, July, August, September, we're talking 6 months. It took 6 months to break out from where we hit a high up here to where we then start to bounce back, right? And that's where these numbers start to touch each other. That's not a bad pause. Where these come down and they start to touch. And the good thing is that these are coming down faster than this came down. So we're going to say this happened in January, and we're hoping that January, February, March, April, May, June, maybe May or June, we're going to see this maybe bounce back up. That's kind of the goal. So we'll see. We will see, dude. 50 grand in Hbar hurts. I'm with you, dude. Do you think $5 Hbar is possible for the end of the I'm saying I was hoping for $2. $2 has kind of been my trigger, right? $2 is kind of where I'm at. What's up, Selmo? I think we pump it straight after this accumulation phase. I think so too, Yoshi God. As long as it stays below the $2, I'm happy. I know the liquidation price is 151. Well, you're definitely above there, Cisco. What's up, Adam? Good to see you, buddy. Just had a 5.2 earthquake in San Diego. Oh man, I hope all is well. Hope nothing happened. Hope you have electricity and water still. That's a pretty decent one. 5.2. You can't get liquidated if you don't leverage. I don't leverage, dude, so it's hard to get liquidated for me. It moved things, but the dogs didn't wake up. It was just not far. Okay. Well, I'm glad it wasn't too bad. Crunch Concert Channel, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Do you trust BTCC in the ID photo verification? No, I don't. BTCC is, I don't know if I trust that one. I very rarely will use any other exchange or network to give them my stuff. Coinbase, Binance.us. What's the other one I used? MEXC, when I was allowed to trade on MEXC. Those were the three I think I gave KYC to. Everything else, I wouldn't give KYC to that many people, dude. My liquidation price, yeah, that's not too bad. Sold a large amount at 218, looking to buy back at $2. Okay. $5, yeah, that could be tough, dude. $5 could be tough. I mean, if it does, that's phenomenal. Yeah, $2 Hbar is kind of where I was like, it's kind of where I've always been. And I don't know if it's going to come in 2025. We've had some crazy. It could come later, but $2 has kind of been my marker. Hey Oz, do you think about Jasmine coin? I don't know enough about Jazz. Jasmine's always been like, I honestly don't even know what Jasmine's doing. I know a lot of people here actually like hold and like Jasmine. And it's one of those like where it's down, but when it comes up, it comes up. I mean, look at this, dude. Jasmine the other day did phenomenal, right? I mean, it came back up almost 100% and literally like not even 2 days. Or sorry, that was in like a week, maybe. It came up like 100%. So Jasmine is a moneymaker when you think about it. But it definitely had the death cross right here. So a lot of people, sold a bigger sell-off right here. The 50-day actually fell through the 100-day and the 200-day EMA. Now it's working its way back. Last time this happened, you could see was back over here, right around had to have been November of 2024. The death cross happened, and this thing actually ripped and went to its all-time high, or not all-time high, but this cycle's all-time high. It's never going to get back to its all-time high of what everyone hopes of. What was this like? What was it like? 40 cents or something like that. There's no way. There's too much in circulation now. So yeah, I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you. Caspa's good, dude. I like Caspa. Yeah, it's a mineable crypto. You know, people, it's a blockchain. It's a layer one. Yeah, I think there's good things with it. Can any crypto get rug pulled? Could XRP potentially be rug pulled? Yeah, it could. There could be a massive sell off of the treasury for sure. It can pump now. I'm here. What's up, Moomster? Moomster's been here for 4 months. Thank you so much for your 4-month membership. It can pump. Anyone had any problems getting money off of Coinbase today? I have not tried. Someone needs to gift Jaco a membership. It's funny, yeah, he gifts everyone a membership, but he doesn't hold his membership. I actually thought I saw that, dude. That's so funny to me. Trump may have just sent us straight into the bear market. He very well could have. You know what I mean? I mean, he wants to lower rates. That's a big thing. Is he wants to lower rates. I think he's been pretty forthcoming about that. And you know, the way to do that is to tank the markets, man. That's kind of the strategy, I feel. Can we please get a pump? I bought Jasmine coin twice and sold both times for small profits. All right. Hey, as long as you're making profits, dude, we're in. Can we get like 2 consecutive weeks of soccer stuff so we can have an altcoin season? It's coming, bro. It's coming. You go look at the weekly right now. We ended the week. Let's go to the weekly chart here, dude. We ended the week in the green, guys. We're in our second consecutive week of green. Look at that. So XRP and Bitcoin, everything out there actually ended the week in the green, which is good. We had a nice little bounce back here in the green. Now we started off our second week here in the green. So very happy to see that. Bitcoin obviously ended in the green as well. And carrying on into this week, we're in 2 weeks of green. So if we follow the trends out there, it's usually 2 weeks of green, couple weeks of red, 2 weeks of green, couple weeks of red. So 2 weeks of green, we should expect after this week to have a sell-off. So be prepared if you want to follow trends. I mean, you can go back and see we typically don't have 3 weeks in the green. I mean, just literally looking at trends here. I mean, I'm not a trendsetter here. Last time we had a 4-week trend was back on October 2024 going into the election. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, which was a full month of red or green. And then we fell into basically 1 week of red, 2 weeks of green, 2 weeks of red, 1 week of green, 1 week of red, 2 weeks of green. So when you start to really look at the trend here, basically you could say anytime that we go into almost 2 weeks into the green, we might follow it up with a little bit of some red. Now it could do something like this, and this is the FOMO that everyone has here, is that you could actually go into a 4-week cycle of green and you sold thinking that it was going to be red, and next thing you know, you're going, gosh dang it, I shouldn't have sold. We just pumped to new all-time highs, or we just pumped for profit. So that's why it's just nice to buy, accumulate, again, and then it just allows you to sit on the sides and go, yeah, I don't really care if it goes up or down. I'll accumulate when I can, and we'll continue to ride it out. That's kind of how I am. So yeah, Big B, appreciate you, man. Have a great day. Team, got to work. All right, Big B, I appreciate you being here, dude. Appreciate you being here. Thanks so much. Progressive rate, he has literally wiped out a lot of people's savings. Yeah, it's true, Casey D. I'm with you. He definitely has not helped. What are your thoughts on all the news around XRP? I think the news is. I mean, there's a lot of news out there that's not good, and there's news out there that's positive. I think you just got to do what you think is best in terms of whether you like it or not. I was a member. I'm just trying to get Austin to at least 91 by the end of the month. I appreciate you, dude. Thank you, Jaco. You're awesome. What's up? What's up, Craig? What's up, Oscar? Good to see you, buddy. Got Oscar in the house here. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, dude. I need to respond to you on X. I saw you DM me. I suck at responding to my X DMs for some reason, dude. And so Oscar, I got to hit you back up, man. So sorry about that. Let's see here. What's up, Milton? Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, XRP should continue to do well. There's no question. This is what probably and this is actually an easier chart to follow than that of Bitcoin. But you can see, I mean, we had 4 weeks in the red, or 4 weeks in the green right here, 2, 1, same thing. And then we had 2, now 2. So we should have 2 build out here. It would be nice to get a third build out and actually not create a, because right now what happened is we're creating lower lows, right? So you created a high, we created a low, we created a high, now we created a new low. So now the thing is if we created a lower high, so say we just pump up to like maybe 3, let's just say that we go to like 330 and then we come down, we should expect a lower low. That's typically how it works. So people that say, oh, can we get back here into the 155, 160, very well could if we start to fall out after we create this next high. And again, it could be, this next high could be right here where we're at, and then we go down further. What is your opinion on XRP dropping sub 2 again? I think it definitely can happen. Yeah, I think it definitely could. I think it's shown that we can definitely get back down that level. The nice thing is that the $2 mark right here is actually, it's shown really, really good resistance here. So even if it does drop back down, I don't think it's going to stay below the $2 mark for too long. We're coiling big time. Get ready for a nice week. I hope so. Yeah, I sure hope so, dude. My skin hurts trying to swim in an empty XRP vault. Hot pocket. But yeah, I missed the 250 marker too, dude. 250 would be nice. 250 XRP marker would be nice for sure. Without question. I'd be all on board for that. So, but all right, guys, with all that, I'm going to actually go and enjoy some sun. I'm going to go get some sun right now. Washington is pumping out the sun. So I'm going to go enjoy some sun. I'm going to go kick it today. I actually might put out some content today. I'm feeling pretty good today. So we'll see what happens. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for joining me for the last 50 minutes talking about crypto and just getting some laughs out of it. At least if you got anything out of it, you got laughs because of lotion and sunscreen and dick burgers. So if you didn't show up for crypto, at least you showed up for that. So at least you come here and you get some nice advice on just living your life. So but yeah, with all that, take care, guys. Yeah, you too, Tim. Appreciate you. Seiko, everyone here. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys a ton. And with all that, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you guys either wear sunscreen or don't wear sunscreen. It's up to you. But with all that, we're out. Peace out, everyone.